Today on the patio, I'm going to show you how to make the most delicious smoked pork chop you've ever had. Let's get some smoke rolling. What's up, barbecue fans? My name is Jake, and today we're gonna take this monster of a pork chop and make a delicious smoked pork chop. Now, I did this midweek last week, and I mean, it was friggin' delicious. I mean, it was so good. I was like, man, I gotta do a video on that and share it. So I win twice now because I get to have a pork chop again. But this is like a 14-ounce pork chop. This is a big boy, right? I'm gonna use a glove here just because I gotta touch it a couple times and roll it. But like, I mean, look, that's like friggin' 2 inches thick, 2¼ inches thick. It's gonna take a little bit of time to cook. It's a double bone. You can get these from various places. This one's actually from Snake River Farms, but get yourself some good pork. Make sure it's a thick pork, right? Even if you go to the grocery store, ask them to cut you an extra thick one because you're gonna want some time to smoke for this. So if you have time, you could dry brine this the day before. I just pulled this out of the packet, so we're gonna season it right now. We're gonna get out a pepper cannon, and I've got this quite coarse for another video I'm working on, so I'm gonna make it just a little finer. Just get a little bit in there. There we go. Get some on top. It's a little windy here. This is just Diamond Crystal kosher salt. And this is a big piece of meat, so we're gonna give this a good seasoning. We got some onion powder, got some garlic powder, and we wanna get all sides here, right? And there we go. We've got a nicely seasoned pork chop, all sides. We're gonna let this sit for about 15 minutes. Our Kamado Joe is just settling in. You'll notice I put a couple pieces of hickory down below our lump, and then I put a big old chunk on top. Now I'm actually doing a couple cooks, so I used more charcoal than I normally would for something like this. So if you're just doing this, you could probably cut that in about half, just for reference. But we're gonna be going at 275 for this cook. This is a big boy, and I don't want it to take all day, so we're gonna really push it up a little bit. When I did this during the week, I did it at 300 and it was perfectly good. So if you don't have a lot of time, you could do this at 400. You just want to make sure you got some smoke rolling, right? We can see some smoke from that piece on top. That's going to clear out a little bit in the next 10 minutes or so, and then we're going to throw this guy on. So it's been about 10 minutes. Our smoke has turned to a lovely blue color. When you see it, you'll know that it's blue. It has a blue tint to it, right? There are several stages of smoke. For white, there's actually 2 stages. There is billowing white smoke, and that's not good for your taste buds whatsoever. That's gonna be bitter, acrid smoke, and no one wants to eat that. Then it goes to kind of a less intense smoke, almost about this amount of smoke, but it's white. You can put your food on in that. It's gonna clean up in like 10-15 minutes anyhow, and then you get to this stage where it's actually got a nice blue tint to it, and that is perfectly okay to smoke into. The big thing to understand is that over time you're going to start to get to a point where you don't see any smoke, but you're still going to smell it, right? That's just really clean smoke. Today we're going to use our Chef's Temp Pro Temp Plus. Get that guy turned on, and today we're using the mini probes. Right, I told you about these guys before, but it's a smaller probe. We did the unboxing, I kind of talked a little bit about it. I just got the mini probe, but if you look, give you some reference here, it's significantly smaller. And we're using that really for a smaller piece of meat where it doesn't make sense to use such a big probe because there is a line here and you've got to put it into that point. This guy has a little stop thing, so as long as we're in there, somewhere in the middle, we're good. So we'll use this guy here, and I am going to, the way that these pork chops are, the bone is right at the edge, and let me tell you, when you cut the meat off here, that's a great chew. Just chew on that bone a little bit. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna go right in the middle, all the way in, like so, and now we're just gonna put this guy on. And I've got this in heat deflectors here, and a hot zone over here, right? Because we're gonna use this later on after we're done our smoke. But for now, we're just gonna let that absorb some of that lovely hickory flavor. So what we'll do now is we'll just put this guy right here, then we'll get out our phone and we'll start up our app. And let's see, we're going to, this is pork chop. I'm going to turn this down to about 120. Now you heard a beep from the base that tells us that it got our adjustment here, our setting, and within a few minutes this will tell us our remaining time. Now I'm going to 120 because what I want to do is I'm going to move this over to the hot side, but we're going to do like a slow hot cook, and I'll show you about that in a little bit. It adds a tremendous amount of flavor. Takes a little bit longer, but it's very much worth it. So real quick, one thing I wanted to show you is how to pair a probe. The one thing I forgot, my new mini probe is brand new and I forgot to pair it, and I just wanted to kind of show you what that looks like. So you go to My Connections, and then you can see here my paired probes. When I only had the top one here, there was only one there and there was a button there to pair more probes. So what I did is you hit that button and then you take them off the charger and all of a sudden it finds them and away you go. Then I went back in and I reset up my cook. I could tell which one was right because it had an ambient temperature on it. And you can see right now that our ambient temperature is 235, our target temperature is 120, and we've got 58 minutes left. Now this is still fine tuning because we're still coming up to temperature. That ambient probe doesn't quite have my temperature. Now the other thing I forgot to mention is I said we're gonna run around 275. At the dome, we're gonna be about 300. When you go down to grate level, you're about 25 to 30 degrees less. So when I say 275, I'm actually talking at the grate level, and this ambient temperature is gonna come up to that. You can see on our phone now, we're actually at 130. We just went into there. What happened is I was actually filming another part or another video and we hit 120. So I had to go a little further past 120. The base also beeps, right? But let me show you where we're at. If you look at our pork right now, it's looking pretty good just the way it is. But what we're gonna do here is we've got a little bit of a hot zone here, right? So we're gonna put this over here. Actually, I'm gonna start upside down. Got some sizzle there. And now what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna open up our bottom vent here a little bit, and we're gonna let some air flow. And we're gonna pull this up to probably like maybe 350, and we're gonna give us a sear. But what we're doing here is we're gonna do this nice and slow. That's gonna get some more charcoal flavor into it. It's gonna get us a sear, but it's gonna let us get some extra time over top of that lump to add that extra flavor. So we'll close this up. I'm gonna open this up a little bit. You know what, not quite that far. I'm gonna open it up, the top vent all the way. That'll get some airflow. We wanna get that lump a little hotter because I do wanna get just a little bit of a crust on our pork chop. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna flip this, I don't know, every 3 or 4 minutes until we get up to our target temperature, which today is gonna be 140. So it's been about 12 minutes. We've got 2 flips per side, and I put it on the side of that big fat cap to render that out. And oh, the flames are coming up. I mean, it just a thing of beauty, all that flavor in there. And let's have a look at where we're at. You can hear that sizzling away there. I mean, look at that goodness. The most important thing now is we gotta let this rest. Now, I always let my meat rest on a rack, right? In my experience, if you put your hot meat on a pot, or on a plate, not a pot, if you put it on a plate, it gets hot and it actually wicks out some of the moisture. So I have to do a video on this one time, but I'm gonna take 2 pieces of meat, identical size. I'm gonna put one on the plate and one on a rack, and you're gonna see that the one that's on the plate is gonna have more juice on the plate. We wanna keep the juice in the meat. So we're gonna keep this rack in place, and we're gonna take this inside and let this rest for a good 15 minutes, and then we'll come out and have a taste. So all I can say right now is it smells good around here. I mean, this thing Oof. Of course, we do have a little bit of juice. You can have a little bit of escape. Some of this is my fault because I tried to let it sit on the edge so I could get a money shot for the thumbnail, and it didn't quite work out so well. So I squeezed a little juice out myself. But look, the other thing you gotta do, you gotta have yourself some fried onions. Now, I didn't want to go over the top on you guys. I know this is impressive as it is, but if you really wanted to step up your game, you could smoke this onion first and then fry it. Something about fried onions and pork goes hand in hand. Truth be told, I'm just joking. I realized as I started my rest that I totally forgot about smoking the onion. So I had to throw it on real quick, and it is what it is. But that, my friends, is it's that sweet onion and pork go so well together. Let's get that out of here. Now, we pulled this off at 142. It went just a couple degrees higher. Why are we pulling it off so early? The reason for that is carryover. So this guy actually went up to 153 at his peak and then started to come down. So first thing we're gonna do here, so we're gonna cut this bone off here. I'll tell you what, Ollie is hovering. He loves pork. This, my friends, right there is just a good chew. Super tasty, got a bunch of smoke in it. But as you look inside, I mean, tell me, can you see that there? Can you see how juicy that pork is? I mean, oh, heaven. This is how pork is meant to be cooked for, folks. Ugh. Easy for me to say. I'm so excited about the damn pork, I can't even talk. Oh, man. Oh, man, that is so friggin' good. A big old piece. That, my friends, is absolutely delicious. I mean, I can't even put it into words. It is so friggin' good. The secret to this is a nice long smoke, but putting it over that lump at like a lower temperature, 350, 400 dome temperature, and letting it like build up a crust over time. I started doing this with steaks for a couple years ago. Lots of people like to crank it up to 700 degrees and you get a great crust, but you don't get any of that charcoal flavor. This way adds another element of flavor that just pushes it over the top. This is something you gotta try. You don't have to buy super expensive pork like this, but you do need a thick pork chop. So as long as you got that, you can put this together, and I guarantee you, your taste buds are gonna be thrilled. Anyone you share it with is gonna love it. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up while you're down there. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks as always for watching. I'll see you soon. You want a piece? Want to shake a paw first? Oh yes, you do. How's that? Good boy.